Hello and welcome to This Age Mysticism, the Outpouring Tsunami. What do you call it there? No, it's like, okay, so I'm sort of the self-styled adjunct professor of this thing called and when such a notion came about, the one of the key pillars of community of this little corner was putting out daily videos I called homeroom class, and then after homeroom class, sometimes I would do some adjunct professing on those things, and things have things have progressed and deteriorated and reformed since then slightly, but I'm still running with the adjunct professing. And today we have a special mystery moral dilemma scenario coming up. But first we do hey everybody, card for the show, savings throws, that kind of stuff. So go grab yourself your beverage and prepare for a day of fun where we feel virtually not alone together.
The list?
Yes, any of the first level ones.
I'm gonna get a soda. Anyone want one? Hey, Graham, I'm not in the room, right?
What room? I want to cast magic missile.
The room where he's casting all these spells from.
He hasn't cast anything yet. I am, though, if you'd listen. I'm casting magic missile.
Why are you casting magic missile? There's nothing to attack here.
I'm attacking the darkness.
Okay. Card for the show, ladies and gentlemen, is that one, the Seven of Hearts. That's nice, right? That's a good one. Maybe. Hello, lunch. Hello, lunch. I started with the thing you made for me. Let's do some more of it while I give myself something. In other exciting news, the survival die remains missing, so today's savings throws will the survivalist, you'll have to figure it out for yourself. Again. Okay, here we go. In case you didn't know, you're swimming in the mind control, and here we give you a savings throw. You get to choose between survival, social, wisdom, or heart as the basis for your savings throw. If the die, these... Oh, wait, we've lost our wisdom. Jeez.
Is everything all right in here?
Yes, Nanny.
Remember,
There is no agency. We want
what's best. Okay, here we go. In case you didn't know, you're swimming in mind control. And here on this show, you get a savings throw against it. You get to choose between survival, social, wisdom, or heart as the basis for your savings throw. And if it's over 10, you take half damage from the mind control that follows in the rest of the show and the rest of the day. And if it's under 10, you take full damage. But remember, everybody, we want what's best for you. Survival, social, wisdom, or heart. Choose. That was my self-tie. Survivalist with a who knows. Socialist, 18. Lovers of wisdom, Nat 1. The bonuses do not apply when you get a Nat 1 and you got one. So you're on your own today. Heart folks with the 6, your bonuses do weigh in. You know how that works. Indigo kids, the number of transformation. If you remember what that is. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I present you with my moral dilemma for you to consider while I'm playing the next branding. You see, this Pastor Paul Vanderklay fellow has recently turned on his channel memberships. And the adjunct professing I intend to do today is available to me because the Shadow Cabal has allowed me to pay for a membership, and so I get this early access and can prepare my retorts before the official video is even released. And I feel unscrupulous doing so. I feel vulnerable doing so, that he might smite me down, that it might not be the right thing to do. And so therefore is the moral dilemma. And ponder that for me and what you think I should do while this plays. Okay, so no, he's out. Buddy's outside. It's a very nice day. We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna go ahead with this. Hey, Franco, good to see you. Good to see you. So his upcoming release is this. Is Christian mysticism a good thing? A dangerous thing? How should we understand the term? And we'll just lead him into the temptation of smiting me for covering it early. Let's jump in here at
that I have never. all the new age friends I have never seen them actually live it out. Why? If all is one, why don't you empty your bank account and give it to me? Because it's just all one. Let's just make it one bank account and let's keep it in mind. How about your car? How about anything else I'd like to have of yours if all is one? No, nobody lives like that. All is one. Well, I had a psychedelic experience and I realized that all is one. Okay, good for you. Now what?
I just wanted to mention that section there, this part where he says, like, well, if all is one, why don't you live this way? This way he described sounding an awful lot like the way that JC guy says to live, if you ask me.
You're crushing me, people. You're crushing me. I'm big, but I'm not that big.
Now he goes on to further ask this.
Well, why did we forget that all was one? Does this have to be revealed to us? And if so, how does that revelation take place? I mean, if you sit down and you think about this, there's lots of questions you could sort of follow up on, ask, and pursue these kinds of things. But this is Russell Brand, and he's going to actually use.
Now, why did we forget that all is one? Well, Pastor Paul, I don't know if you know of this, but there's a legendary story that once upon a time our ancient ancestors were deceived with the offer of having the knowledge of good and evil. And the thing is, Pastor Paul, when you feel the connection of unity, you cannot experience the knowledge of good and evil experience. For example, my hand is currently very unified with the rest of me, and so it won't do evil things like try and strangle me during a live stream because of the unity we experience together. But if we didn't experience this unity, my hand would be free to do evil to the rest of me. Now, and so perhaps the disconnection from the unity of all that is was for the purpose of us experiencing the knowledge and obtaining the knowledge of good and evil with which we were promised. Now we also were told that we would surely die if we, but I guess that's not really part of it. But this other part here,
use the word. Lots of questions you could sort of follow up on, ask, and pursue these kinds of things. But this is Russell Brand, and he's going to actually use the word mysticism in a minute.
The idea that enmity, conflict, and suffering represent the erosion of the edges that keep you from unity.
And again, he can't really, in his worldview, account for where evil comes from.
The question of theodicy and where evil comes from. Well, that's clearly answered by the amnesiac evil I've just mentioned, but more specifically, recently, one of the pet peeves I have with this professing, with which I must adjunct profess too, is that he holds this Russell Brand character up as a notion of a mystic, much less a Christian mystic. And then he goes also, it's just all kinds of mystic. Now, the reason I think that he is doing that is because in the act of pastoral care, you're administering pastoral care to particularly the lower levels of the layer cake of lies. And therefore, when those people are exposed to the word mystic and mysticism, they encounter that's the symbol, the icon, if you will, for them. And that's why he's referencing it in this video as such. But it strikes me odd that he does so when he does speaking gigs with Michael Martin, who leans way more Christian mystic. He won't look at Baba Wanyama, who I think is like LARPing a Christian mystic and maybe doing weird things. And I believe our good friend from Grail Country considers himself some sort of atheist Christian mystic. And yet And for everyone else, he holds up this shallow, very, very shallow Russell Brand as a mystic. And that's a little odd for me. But with regard to the question of theodicy, and our good friend over at Grail Country, he recently had some sort of discussion with a guy who I assume must be a racist, bigot, homophobe or something for reasons. But here's an interesting part with regard to theodicy from that discussion.
Yeah. And so therefore, there is an active force that pulls existence towards non-being, which must be continuously opposed by God at all times. Mm-hmm. And that force, we see it reflected in the material world as entropy. And so I believe that evil is fundamentally the application of entropy or the exploitation of entropy by free-willed beings. And so I think what we can understand Satan then is, so God has created to an infinite extent, has created an infinite cosmos. In the process of creating an infinite cosmos, he has brought himself up against a force of infinite magnitude and response, trying to dissolve his cosmos into nothingness. And in order to better administrate that, he has created his various servants, his angels and things that are assigned to different powers and principalities and whatnot and duties. And then Satan, being one of them, has betrayed him. And so the reason, for instance, that, it's like, why doesn't God just destroy Satan because he's all powerful and whatever? And in my point of view, the reason for that is that because at every moment of every second of time, God is already in an infinite struggle to sustain the universe against these inexorable forces. So of course, if one of his minions, one of his janitors, who's supposed to be keeping the system running efficiently in the background, starts purposefully breaking pipes, then there's going to be some water damage.
Don't worry, Mom. I know all about cannibalism. I saw it on TV.
See? It's okay. You saw it on the television.
Sunshine, my only sunshine, you make me happy when skies are gray. You never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Please don't take my sunshine away.
Generational wisdom transferred to what the heck are you talking about, Lunch? What are you even talking about? I think the knowledge of good and evil is the hubris to define it yourself. What's the difference between the hubris and the fall of man? Hubris. Bris is like also a circumcision. Wait a minute. Good morning, Cassandra. Good morning, Cassandra. Hey there, Slack. You guys got an 18 today. It was pretty good. Pretty good. Grail Country I actually liked his video. I know where he's coming from. Yeah, where's he coming from? To the layer cake of life. For what it's worth, Russell Brand is heavily involved in Alcoholics Anonymous. He most definitely has God, a.k.a. a higher power in his life. AA and mysticism do not mix. Do not mix. That's an interesting thing. He also he's got lots of big fancy videos on that transcendental meditation with David Lynch. That's another interesting angle. What's that about? Well, what is this mysticism anyway? Well, let's see what our good friend Miriam has to say.
Mysticism.
Oh,
Mysticism.
The experience of mystical union or direct communion with ultimate reality, as reported by mystics. The belief that direct knowledge of God's spiritual truth or ultimate reality can be attained through subjective experience such as intuition or such as intuition or insight? What about such as the Holy Ghost descending upon you and baptizing you with fire? Is that the direct knowledge of God's spiritual truth, or is that mysticism? What is that then, if not mysticism? Answer in the comments below for a +3 on the next savings throws. Savings throws. Yeah, hubris. There is no difference between hubris and the fall of man, says Lunch. It is the fall of man at its heart. And Dust to Dust says, yo. Well, now, guys, as you know, because you're here all the time, when we go visit our friend Miriam, we often do this fancy, what's the secret message in the word of the day?
Disingenuous.
No, well, that's what I was meaning about him saying Russell Brand was a Christian mystic. I thought that was rather
disingenuous.
You know? Mm-hmm. But, oh wait, it's better if I make you wait. Stay tuned for the fancy pantsy secret message from Miriam right after this. We all know that there is no agency any living gent can see doing what is right for me. Is lifting up my bro so he can grow some eyes to see that doing what is right for me increases all our agency. All right, and in the fancy comments, Franco says Syrium. Paul was simply trying to distinguish between a kind of pseudo-mysticism that chases experience, which AA would oppose, and the experience of God and mysticism as such, which is beyond the experiences. Santa! You missed it all. No, I'm still going through it. We're at the secret message from Miriam part, going over that, that nonsense Paul put out, or will put out. Anyway, the secret message from Miriam, from the word of the day, includes disingenuous, pareidolia. What?
Pareidolia.
Say it again.
Pareidolia.
Ooh, I like the way you say it. Say it again.
Pareidolia.
Okay, the tendency to perceive a specific and often meaningful image in a random or ambiguous visual pattern. Who are you to judge my visual patterns as
ambiguous?
It can be understood in more than one way, or it has more than one possible meaning. Okay. Oh.
Gauntlet.
What? What the?
Upbraid.
To upbraid someone is to speak to them in an angry or critical way in response to something they have done wrong. All right. We're going to do a It is disingenuous to think my pareidolia, ambiguous images, are a gauntlet of upbraiding from my subconscious. What? I don't know. It works sometimes better than others, you know? All right, we got a lot of hot and juicy questions coming in from the Hive Mind chat, such as, Are saints mystics? Now, as we know from our definition of mysticism, they have that direct experience with God, right?
Mystic.
Or are they mysterious? Saints are mysterious, obscure, enigmatic, and induce a feeling of awe and wonder. So I would say yes. We're answering that one with a yes. Is Santa a Christian mystic? No. Haven't you seen the church lady skits from SNL? You can Google them. No. Hey, Dolly, good to see you. Good to see you. Agreeing with the Grail Country. Oh, you'd like to chat about this Russell Brand thing. Have you seen the secret members only video? We're going over it. Here's part of it now.
That's a problem. And of course, it's also a problem for Christianity in that we have the problem of evil. This is again a long conversation, but the problem is a function of the major assertion, the primary assertion that being is good, not neutral or evil, because if it's neutral, then you've got all kinds of other problems. And if being is evil, then you have the problem of good. Well, where does good come from?
Good comes from my heart, Pastor Paul. It's a magical, overflowing source. Yeah, Chad can come on when I finish covering this part. We can go into the Russell Brand nonsense. But first, I have more of this nonsense to finish, such as the timestamp at 24
Baxter's
on transposition.
Book, The Medieval Mind of C.S. Lewis. A great book shaped the great mind. Lewis, in this one section, he talks about transposition, which is one of Lewis's essays. This then is what is at stake when considering Lewis's admiration for medieval cosmology, because for him the medieval universe was not just a system of exploded scientific beliefs, but the natural icon of transposition, the greatest example of the spiritual world expressing itself in the limited vocabulary of the physical natural world. And what nuclear reactions...
I want to, as a not Christian and probably not a mystic, I want to highlight a bit of that.
Example of the spiritual world expressing itself in the limited vocabulary of the physical natural world.
Now, that's an interesting take for me, because that Baba Wanyama fella I point to for as a Christian mystic says that the story of Christ expresses itself in our body through that whole sacred secretion thing. And that's the physical expression thereof of the life of Christ inwardly, right? And then also that outwardly, like on December 21st, essentially the sun goes underground for 3 days. And that's also this transposition of the life of Christ into our reality on multiple layers of the not kayfabe. What?
And what nuclear reactors, particle accelerators, and the Hubble telescope are for us, the medieval cathedral and the cosmological model it represented was for the medieval period, a kind of experiment that made visible an elusive and deeper truth. This is the iconic vision of the medieval cosmos. Thus, Lewis tried to get his students and audiences to see and breathe and feel. Thus, the Oxford professor's interest in medieval cosmology was not merely an arcane archaeological antiquarianism. Why? Because being able to see the world with medieval eyes could provide even modern people with a model for thinking about the relationship between the natural and the spiritual world.
You mean a subjective of experience of the divine? Wait a minute, doesn't that make somebody a mystic? Yes, that's terribly embarrassing. I'm joining. I am your first member. Hi, I'm Griswold Grimm, and a member of the Order of the Sacred Order of Foolish Transparency, fraternal regiment embodying narcissistic sociopathy, and Mystics Anonymous. Mystics Anonymous. There's one more part I wanted to drop. I'll throw you the link, Chad. But first, we want to go to this 33-minute portion. Here you go. Have the link. The Discord's closed. I'll put it in here. No weirdos come in. No weirdos coming. I want to talk about this bit.
Exists. Because again, just like when people hear Russell Crowe and they hear mysticism as sort of this post-Christian New Agey thing, when they hear exists, they think a world of objects.
Whoa. Before I let that run to the part I want to talk about, I want to object to this New Agey thing and explain why I would do such a thing as to say this age mysticism, outpouring tsunami on the. I have to tap the thumbnail in the title, right? Okay, so this age part, the New Age, they started selling us the New Age in the 70s. Isn't it this age now? Have we not followed the water bearer into the age of Aquarius? When does that even start? I'm pretty sure it's this age, though. Not New Age, this age. I don't know what to tell you about that. And what else? Oh, the outpouring tsunami. Hey guys, you remember that big college thing? You guys got all excited because there was a thing and we did all these shows on it. What's the wrap up on that? What God fizzled out? Tell me about it. Now this part.
And God then becomes exclusively God number 2, a super thing in the sky, and that sets up the whole new atheist debate. With the recession of modernity, Karl Rahner felt it. That was in the article I read in that thing. The Christian of the future will be a mystic or will not exist at all. Now, that's a hyperbolic statement because...
Is it though? First of all, we're going back to the definition of the mystic as one who has direct experience of God. And that's probably going to be the only Christians we have left, don't you think? And you speak of this recession of modernity. Meanwhile, in the schools, they've mastered the reciprocal narrowing of indoctrination through the Sustainable Development Goals and the social emotional learning thing. And we're not talking about that sort of thing much around here in this little corner. And now to join me to opine about Russell Brand. Chad Mystic, ?
Hi.
Hello and welcome.
How are you?
None of your business.
Oh, okay. Well,
Now what'll that asshole think of next? Is anybody got a dime? I don't have it.
It's through contributions like yours that create the membership of the Shadow Cabal that allow me to pay for the StreamYards that yet let yahoos like Chad the Mystic, ? Come on the show. Thank you, Shadow Cabal. All right.
hi. So, what is happening with Mystics? It's great to see you, by the way.
It's great to be seen.
Yeah. Cool.
Pastor Paul's coming out with a video. He gave it to us members already, but it's about how, hey, don't get scared of the word mystics if you're part of the Blue Church like me, because we're going to talk about that around here.
Yeah. I saw the video. It was interesting because last night we did one of those online estuary, the ELSNet meetings, the Estuary Leader Support Network. And that seemed to be a lot of what Vanderclay was talking about in that members only video was kind of, it was weird. Like his video was almost like it was like synthesis.
He ripped off the Estuary Support Leadership Network meeting.
Yeah, right. And well, he wasn't there obviously because he doesn't attend those, but yeah. So it was kind of weird, kind of mystical, if you ask me.
I think it's mystical when people donate through the super chats like Upcycle Club here for the mystical space. Thank you, Ups, very much.
That guy's so good, that Upcycle dude. Look at this.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Have you killed a cow?
Well, I didn't kill it. I bought it. I have the
Yes,
day
Curly,
off.
the assassin have failed. May they continue to do so.
So what was the what was the whole issue about the AA stuff with the mystical? Because I came late. I was at the store getting the steak.
I don't know. I think just Russell Brand's association with it and the notion that they frown upon chasing mystical experiences.
Oh yeah, no, I think that kind of goes back to what the old Peugeot, Jonathan Peugeot talks about not holding on to like any kinds of mystical experiences or miracles, and not just living on those alone. And I mean I can understand that. I mean it's like it's more about, like, for me, the experience that I had was kind of like it was a revelation and a realization that something was true. It was a very true experience that changed everything about how I kind of will experience life from here on out. But like it must go deeper. And that's been my experience with recovery the whole time. I don't do AA recovery. Like, I don't seek God so that I can feel like, like a spiritual giant, in other words. And so it's like, that could be kind of misleading. It's like, no, like there's work to do. And when we're lucky or blessed, we get to experience some of those crazy, cool, mystical experiences. And those are quite joyful, but they're not the point. Maybe that helps. I don't know.
I think Brand is a terrible example for a mystic, other than unless you're just associating drug use, exploratory like exploring your consciousness with psychedelics as mysticism, and that's a cheapening of it that I don't believe in. Oh, hey, MJ, good to see you.
Russell Brand is. I'm not a big fan of his in the first place. Like, I think sure he's been helpful, but
To
what I
whom?
don't, to some people, I'm sure. But like, what I don't like is it'd be kind of like if I was the face of AA for everybody to see. Like, no, that shouldn't be the case. It's not good. I'm not a good example of that. I mean, I can be useful and I can be helpful here and there, but really nobody is, the face of it. And he seems to be somebody who is not only, and here's where the problem is, not only is he kind of the face of 12 steps on a celebrity level, he's also the face of something to do with Culture Warrior, and he's also the face of like dingbat crazy shit, which like it's not useful together. So there's that. God, I'm just going to be so much more unpopular like by the end of this stream.
Why? Because you don't like Russell Brand?
Just because, like, I've become more and more vocal on my stance on things that are annoying to me, and people just completely miss it. But whatever, I don't give a shit. Hey, I got mushrooms. Want to see? See, I got
mushrooms and steak. What? It sounds like you're making a delicious dinner for your wife tonight.
Well, I will be, but she's not coming home for a while yet. So this is kind of my lunch.
Whoa. What's the night? Apparently, tiling lets you afford steaks for lunch. Way to go, Chad.
It's crazy, dude. There are so many good jobs out there.
Haven't you got a Jordan Peterson air fryer yet?
Yeah, right here. It's called Ninja. This is my Ninja air fryer, and that thing is awesome. Like,
show us some more. Give us a walkthrough. I need a minute. Wait, no. No. This one. That's
okay.
What I wanted to press.
So here's how this works. I can go in here. I can grab this, which is a completely frozen pork loin, like 2 pounds. I could take that thing and put it inside this Ninja Food air fryer and put it in here for like 360 degrees at 38 minutes. Close it, press start, and by the time that thing is done, it'll be very juicy and it's very good. It's like living in the space age, but not.
And that's why we like to stay comfortable. Oh,
yes.
Russell Brand is a comedian and a crappy one at that. I don't know. The thing about it, especially like I don't know, maybe 8 months ago, 9 months ago, he was really pushing the whole like the podcasters are the new news angle. And that's, I don't know, he was selling it too hard. It made me uncomfortable.
Well, it's always clickbaity bullshit titles, which I never click on because I think it's always kind of like the same one. It'll be like a picture of either like, who cares, whatever political celebrity you can think of, and it'll say like, oh, they're going to be pissed about this. And that'll be like the title. It'll be like a nuclear bomb and then the face of Joe Biden or something. It's like, I'm just so sick of it, dude. Like, how am I supposed to take you serious and follow the things you say? I'm not saying
because you're an actor.
Yeah, I'm not. You know, I'm not saying he's all bad. I just think that some of this stuff, it's the same. It's kind of some of the game that I play. I'm not gonna lie. I play the attention farm experiment game. I want to know what's happening. I'm not getting paid, so I don't give a shit. But I'm interested in what people are, how people move, what they're thinking, and that's kind of work that I'm trying to do on my channel because it's fascinating to me, and I'm also, like, I would say, you know, kind of addicted. So.
Well, it's a much when other people become involved, then it doesn't feel like a video game anymore. But we're to the point. It's like the civilization has been the reduction of violent expression, and as such, warfare has developed to this level. So for you wanting to watch how that works is just you understanding the sea we're swimming in.
Mm-hmm. Right. Well, that is the world war that we are in. It won't be a hot war. It won't be missiles or bullets.
Well, they might do that too as part of the global theater, but
maybe. But like, it's far more lucrative for them to keep us feeding. And what I mean feeding is on steaks and videos, and out there, whatever, dude. It's just so weird. I don't know what to say.
A little bit of everything all of the time.
Oh, that is such a classic, dude. When you first saw that, what did you think? I need to know what you thought about that.
What I first thought was like, he's saying it out loud. Somebody's finally saying it out loud.
Wasn't it like, what was the experience that you had? Like, was it so for me, when I first watched it, I didn't even know much of anything about this dude. And I watched that and my skin was crawling. And I felt like I saw something beautiful and terrifying at the same time, because his artistic expression was, I'd never seen anything like it. And like, for him to be able to do what he did, it was like, oh my goodness. Yes. Oh, what do we got here?
They're talking about pandas in the hive mind. So.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yes. Never forget the cat. Yes. The fact that we don't consider the CIA as dangerous as we do the CIA is our own flaw. That's our own flaw. Thanks for the search term there, Holden. These guys are going to copyright strike me, I'm sure.
So nice. They look drunk.
Well, stay out of touch, everybody.
Thanks.
We'll see you next time.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Remember.
This agency. We want.